Mic check. Mic check. Khan. Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Recha Kodash. I would also like to give a double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which would be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. Shalom. Hey, Shalom, beloved Akim and Akwath. It's just by on back again through the spirit power, mercy, and grace of our power, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. And I just wanted to tap into this video, and we back again to Wadi Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. I just wanted to tap into some information with you, beloved Akim and Akwath, pretty much bringing forth information regarding the damage that's being done, all right, by Evil E, right, in the form of this fourth industrial revolution that he's in hot pursuit and bringing forth. All right, and we know it evolves around AI technology. It evolves around him pretty much, creating a world where pretty much AI is God. All right, but he's in control of that whole project. Evil E in the form of the global elite. This is his dream. And that's all in efforts to steal the birthright back. That's him being able to create a synthetic immortality and steal the birthright back, bro. All right. And this is what they're in efforts, this is what they're in hot pursuit to bring forth, a technocracy. All right. This is why your current president is surrounding himself around technocrats. All right. This is why data centers are being built, all over America. And there's been data centers. The difference between the data centers that we've had before and what they're doing now is that these AI data centers are technologically advanced, and they're way more powerful, and they create and they need fresh water to cool them down. They need resources. They need land. They need large, vast. They need a vast amount of land. All right, they need to be huge. These data centers are huge, bro. You know what I mean? And then they need to be near a fresh water source to keep them cool. So infrastructurally, I mean, they're detrimental to the environment. They're detrimental to the environment, and they're detrimental to us. And what's happening right now is you're having protests. You're having individuals, pretty much come up against the powers that be, building data centers in their communities or what have you. And then what's crazy is that this is happening in Edomite communities, Edomite dwellings. That's what's crazy. That's what's heavy. It's all through the spirit, you know. And ultimately, these Edomites are raising hell, man. These Edomites are raising hell, and Esau's having a very hard time fulfilling, this diabolical plan. But ultimately, he is going to get it off the ground. It's only going to go so far, before the Lord comes and pretty much strips him of the scepter, all right, and knocks him off his pivot. But needless to say, this is where we at. I got a couple of videos, Lord willing. I have an article as well through the spirit. And Abaratazar, you beloved Akiyam, and Akwa for edified, right? So let's get this real quick first. Let's open up with this through the spirit. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach. All right, chapter 14 and verse let me see here. 5. It reads this: He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good, bro? All right, and this is the global elites, bro. Hey, here it is. These 13 families, pretty much stole the birthright to themselves. I'm sorry, the blessing that they received via Genesis 27. There shouldn't be one poor Edomite. There shouldn't be one panhandling Edomite on earth, you know? But there is because, again, these 13 illuminated families stole the blessing, man, from the rest of from the rest of you Edomites, you know, and now you're just beginning to find that out. You're just beginning to realize that. You're just beginning to realize that you've been duped. Okay, you've been duped, man, by your by your contemporaries, man. You know, by your counterparts. You know, in the form of the global elite. You see? So here it is. This dude's, you know, on a he's evil E in the form of the powers that be, the global elite. They don't care. They don't care if it's not of the royal family. They don't give a damn, bro. You know. And again, this is why they're you know, pushing up on, you know, their these other Edomites' land in the form of, you know, these Edomite communities, man. You know, they're exercising a law called eminent domain. All right, in which we're gonna tap into that. Lord, actually, I'll get the definition of that after I get this precept. All right, and this is what Esau is utilizing in the form of one of his unrighteous decrees to pretty much move these Edomites off their land, man. All right, and again, we got a video to prove this is happening. We'll get it. Let's continue on. Right, he that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? No, and that's a question, and it's nobody. He won't be good to nobody, bro, man. All right. And if he does good, it tells you in the same chapter, I believe, if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, man. And at the end, he'll declare his wickedness, man. All right? This nigga is not wired to do good, evil E. All right? Look, he shall not take pleasure in his goods, bro. All right? And ultimately, evil E is not going to be able to fulfill his diabolical mission. It's not going to be fulfilled. Okay? Everything that he labored for, he's going to have to restore, ultimately. Okay? And it's going to be according to his restitution. I mean, I'm sorry, it's going to be according to his substance, as it tells us in Job. According to his substance shall the restitution be, man. So he's going to have to pay back everything he's doing, everything he's destroying, all the animals he's killing, bro. You know, all the blood he's shedding. But check it out. Let's go get this word or this unlawful this unrighteous decree. Let me see here. You know, righteous doesn't right. You know, righteous judgment doesn't go forth in this man's rulership, bro. All right, eminent domain is the legal power of the government or authorized private entities to seize private property. Why? For public use without owner's consent. All right, provided that they pay just compensation. All right, this authority is established by the Fifth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, which they're also going to be doing away with the Constitution. All right, unbeknownst to you, uh, red belly. All right, die hard. All right, dumb Americans, man. All right, that think that that think that what your forefather, your founding fathers have fought for is going to be anything of um value, man, in the world that's coming. Nah, man. Hey, they getting rid. The powers that be. Hey, they're weaponizing it now because they see Esau. He'll utilize something to benefit him. You know, but at the end of the day, he got his own desires, evil E in the form of the elite. Yeah, they're utilizing the Fifth Amendment right now. You know, the Fifth Amendment via the Constitution, but they're doing away with the Constitution via the New World Order, bro. Via the Fourth Industrial Revolution, man. Nah, man, they're gonna be operating under the guise of robotheism, okay? Where AI is God, bro. And again, Esau's in the driver's seat controlling that narrative. You know, but that's where they're going with this thing. 15-minute cities. Nigga, you ain't got no freedom of speech. Nah, nigga, you're eating this. Okay? Bugs and and synthetic meat. Okay? And when you're gonna be drinking water with forever chemicals in it. That's what you're getting. That's how they're gonna be operating. This is what they're on. But check it out though. Right? So one of the core requirements is that what? If they authorize um eminent domain, it has to be for the for let's get it. Let me see here. Oh, here we go. To legally exercise eminent domain, two primary conditions must be met. This is the first one: public use. Right? The seized land must be used for a project that benefits the public. All right. And what you're gonna find out is that these data centers are not conducive to the public, to the public's health, or anything that has to do with the environment. All right. It literally destroys the environment. We're gonna show you, right? Look at the seized land must be used for a public project that benefits the public, such as highways, schools, parks, or public utilities. In some instances, this is expanded to include economic development, all right, economic development, which is what they're pushing for. They're economically advancing into a digital society, right? Look at or transferring land to private developers if it yields a wider community benefit. All right, and these developers are the technocrats, and um they're trying to widely develop these data centers, man. All right, and we already went into the just compensation that they must give you for your property, right? But this is what they're doing. All right, evil E in the form of the powers that be, masked behind these entities in the form of Google and these other huge technological companies, Google and all these other ones. It's really being controlled by the global elite. This is how they're pushing it. All right, but they're getting pushback. Let me show you something real quick. Let me see something real quick. Bear with me. This is fair use, fair use. I'm not making any monetary gain off of this video. All right, this is for educational purposes only. All right, fair use, fair use.
Looks like this battle against data centers is ramping up, and homeowners here facing eminent domain. Bulldozers lining up to take out their homes in different areas of the country. And as many are saying, it has to stop. You can see the people here in the middle, well, one holding the center. It's just one of many little protests that are popping up in every single state. In this instance, we have a lot of attention around Georgia Power because they're seizing dozens of homes and they're being allocated hundreds of easements. This is across Coweta and Fayette counties. So there's a 35-mile zone here where they're going to run a 500 kilovolt transmission line. And people that have lived here in homes their whole life being told, you got to go. People that stood their ground and said, we're not taking your money. We're not doing our people like that. They are getting thrown out on the street. Eminent domain taking over. And this is ridiculous. I don't think that it's right at all, and it shouldn't be possible in many situations. Just because corporations want to do something or the government wants to do something, they should plan around it. Just because you've got something that they want doesn't mean they can kick you off of it. But that's what they do here. We've seen it time and time again with this government in many different situations. So in Georgia alone, you've got upwards of 30 homes in one area that are about to be wiped out. The girl on the right, she's taken to social media. She stressed concern about this and telling people, hey, we need help. They're about to wipe out our home. What do we do? And there's no answers for anyone. All the people have are each other. And until they realize that in full, they're going to continue to face all the stuff coming with data centers. I break this down in greater detail on the live streams. Make sure to join me going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern here on Dabu 77, where we can talk about this in a whole lot more in greater detail. Hope to see you there. Much love.
You see? And what you stupid Americans are about to find out is that, all right, the elite were never for your turn. They never were in it to, um, they set you up. You niggas been, the elites have been setting you niggas up since the beginning. All right, because they had this plan for a long time, bro. All right, they've had this plan for a long time. They don't give a damn if you grew up in that house, you know, or if you lived in that house for the past 10 generations. They can give a damn. Okay, and there's gonna come a time where, hey, Esau's gonna come down with the sword. You better believe it, right? But this is what they do. This is what the Edomites do, bro. All right, now you regular Joe six pack Edomites are starting to feel it. All right, you start you're starting to feel the pressure. All right, and these are your counterparts coming down on you, man. You know, but again, Esau, East, evil E, right? What's that? They covet fails. The Esau's doing what he's always done, you know. But this time, yeah, he's trying to finalize his fantasy, right, and stealing back the birthright. Because again, this is what it all evolves around. Bear with me. Let me get this real quick. Was that Micah? Hold on for 1 second. This phone's bugging out, bro. All right, I'm gonna start from the top here. This is the book of Micah, chapter 2, right? In verse 1, it reads this: Woe, which means destruction, all right, to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds, okay? And this is pinpointing and targeting the global elite. All right, they're in a position where what? They're in their comfort. They're able to um pretty much bring forth a specific type of energy on the earth. They're able to control the narrative, you know? They're able to control the scenarios on the earth in the form of what we're seeing happen right now. If they come up with a plan within their think tank, like, look, let's transition this way, let's do this, you know, they're able to exercise that, man, because they're in the position of power. You know, the Lord's given them the sovereignty, man. So what do? They exercise wickedness, man, is what they do. This word iniquity means what? Wickedness, man. You know, woe, destruction unto them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands, you see? And they covet fails, bro. And they covet fails and take them by violence. And this is the next stage, all right, that Esau's gonna take it. You know, because you know Esau doesn't take no for an answer. When Esau wants something, look what he did to us, man. And when I say us, I'm talking about, you know, first and foremost, us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But I was specifically isolating us Gadites, man. All right, the North American so-called Indians. Look what he did to us. Okay, broke every treaty and then took everything he could. You know, killed all the buffalo just in efforts to isolate us. You know, at least he tried. You know, and then look what he did to the rest of the tribes, bro. Look what he did to us as a people. He stole our heritage, bro. Evil E. All right, this nigga's playing dress up. He's talking about that he's the Israelites. Come on, man. Okay? But this is what he does, bro. This is what Esau does. And now he's doing it to his own. All right? Because Esau in the form of the elite, they got a plan. And if you standing in their way, they don't care if you look like them. They're gonna steamroll over you, man. Brother, in their covered fields and take them by violence, man. Okay? And Esau's next best thing, besides deception and lies, is that sword. Right? As we know, Isaac told him what? He'll be blessed with the sword, and he's gonna live by that sword. Okay, that's this nigga's special weapon. When all goes left, this nigga's pulling the sword out. All right, and you can use your imagination when it comes to that. Right? Just look at this nigga's history. All right, look at Esau's history, man. All right, look it and take them by violence and houses. All right, and houses. And let me read this from the top, right? And their covet fails and take them by violence and houses. All right, and take them away. So they will oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. And Esau has a long track record of doing this. All right, Esau has done this since when? Since Mount Seir. Okay, he did this to the Horites. We made this mention, I believe, earlier today, for whatever reason, maybe yesterday. But we made this. This point's always. We know this. You know, you beloved Akiyamanakwa. You're within the body. You already know. You know, brothers be tapping into information from the elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down. So we know this. We know this information. Evil E did this since the beginning. Okay, when he got his ass over there in Mount Seir, he did this to the Horites, man. Okay, Egypt. He was you know what I mean. He was the Egypt. He's everybody, man. He's everybody by himself. You know. But again, this is what he does. This is just Esau doing what he do. Okay, and there was a precept that came to mind. Damn, it escaped me. That's the spirit. There's it must not want to come out. Let me read this one more time though. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold. Matter of fact, let me keep reading. That's the spirit. Let me keep reading. Because there's a penalty for what Esau is doing, bro. Inevitably. You know, and you Edomites that are having this done to you now, this is judgment upon you. All right. And the scriptures tell us that misery, many great miseries will befall Babylon the Great. Okay? Do you think you're exempt from them miseries, man? Nah, man. That's talking to you Edomites and the rest of you that trust in the shadow of Egypt. You're gonna feel the brunt of this transition, man, that Esau's trying to bring forth in the form of the elite. You're gonna feel it. You niggas, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans join to this thing, you know? And you Edomites, man, that been living deliciously, man, reaping the benefits of the generational um wealth that you received in the form of Jake's oppression. Yeah, all good things gotta come to an end, man. The mirth is gone. All right, there's a crying for wine in the street. Way out that time, Babylon's being visited, man. And remember, the scriptures tell us in Ezekiel that a sword is sharpened. All right, evil eats that sword in the form of the global elite. You know, you regular Joe six pack Edomites are going to be victims in this process of transition too. You know, but look at this. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, man, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall you go haughtily, for this time is evil, bro. Bad times. This is what the Lord got in store for you Edomites, man. Bad times. Yeah, Jacob's trouble is everybody's trouble. All right, this is what you heathen forgot. All right, but needless to say, let's go ahead. I can't remember. There was a precept that came in my mind. It left me. So let's just do. I'm gonna just go to the article, right? I got an article real quick, right? Because there is another video I want to grab real quick from the beloved brother, hopefully like 3. Check this out. Natural news, right? This is dated May 29th, 2026. The title reads: AI data centers infrasound pollution linked to nausea, insomnia, and nearby residents, man. And again, remember, evil E in the form of the global elite. These data centers are being built by them via these tech giants that they control, these tech giant companies, in areas where regular Joe six pack Edomites are at, man. So they're the ones feeling this. Okay? Again, because these data centers need to be built near fresh water sources, man. You know? And this is where Esau be at. All the land you stole. You know? See how things are coming back around full circle? You think you're gonna get away with just stealing land? Now you're paying the price, bro. It's just a domino effect, the judgment. It's beautiful how the Lord set this thing up. All right, because the global elite are gonna get judged up too. They're not gonna fulfill this as much as they're trying. But either way, let's go. Right? It reads this. Let's go. AI data centers emit noises up to 96 decibels 24/7. If you Edomites ain't getting no sleep. All right, look at with low frequency infrasound that humans feel as pressure but cannot hear. Residents report dizziness, nausea, vertigo, insomnia, headaches, and anxiety they attribute to data center noise pollution, bro. All right, infrasound at high volumes can affect the central nervous system and heart function, according to McGill University researchers. 70% of US adults oppose having a data center in their area. right? A March Gallup poll found at least 11 states have proposed legislation since late 2025 to strict or ban data center development. It's not going to work. All right, it's not going to work. As a matter of fact, there was actually a law that was passed by the Trump administration which restricts, your local city hall or your local state to be able to stop them from being able to build data centers if they desire to do it in your land. You know, but it's complicated because now that they've infiltrated and they're able to pretty much build as they wish, now there's land, there's homes in specific areas where they need to build these data centers in. You see, Evil E living in the sticks, and this is why Evil E, they're pushing what? That eminent domain, that Fifth Amendment, you know? And it's gonna come to a point where you're not gonna have a choice. You know how Evil E gets down. We know, you know? He's only gonna shake your hand and smile in your face for so long, you know? Again, until he pulls before he pulls the sword out. Look at the unseen threat. Look at when silence becomes dangerous. Artificial intelligence data centers are generating a new form of pollution that residents cannot hear but can feel in their bodies, triggering symptoms from migraines to vomiting and raising questions about whether technology rapid expansion has outpaced basic public health protections, bro. All right, just to show you how destructive Esau is, bro. Here it is. There's no benefit to this new world he's trying to bring forth, bro. It's already bringing forth death, and it's not even up and operating yet. And it's already bringing forth health conditions, death, you know? It's already destabilizing the ecosystem. This is dangerous. Anyways, look at noise emitted by data centers, the humming of cooling systems, the rumbling of diesel generators, and the whirring of thousands of fans can be heard and felt hundreds of feet away, according to the Environmental and Energy Study Institution. Noise levels can reach 96 decibels for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Sound exceeding 85 decibels is considered dangerous to human hearing. All right? But the most insidious threat may be what residents cannot hear at all, and that's called infrasound. All right? So, infrasound is a low frequency sound below 20 hertz. All right? It bypasses the air entirely. The body feels it as pressure or vibration. All right? Residents living as close as 50 feet from data centers report symptoms remarkably similar to electromagnetic radiation syndrome. The condition linked to conditions linked to cell towers and Wi-Fi networks. All right. So man, these data centers are doing a number. All right, on residential areas, man. All right. Esau is not gonna stop. If you think Esau is gonna stop, you're out of your mind. All right. Esau's not gonna stop. These niggas they are hell bent. All right, to bring forth this new world. All right, and they're gonna transition into the either you comply or you die mindset. You know, because again, all this is gonna be linked to this new world he's trying to bring forth. These data centers must be erected. All right, all right. These are the home bases. These are the driving forces for this new advanced technological world where these the chips are going to be able to communicate with it all and everything's just you being part of the internet of bodies, man. This whole system is going to work. Those data centers must be erected. Esau got this. He's got this calculated. That's why they know where to build them. That's why they're like, yo, you niggas gotta go. Yo, we need this land, man. You know what I mean? Because Esau already knows it's these niggas done calculated how they gotta move. And he ain't gonna stop. Esau's not gonna stop. Okay, Esau's not gonna stop. And he can give a damn if he's causing you any type of bodily harm. Because what the scripture say about this nigga's mindset? Let me get this real quick. I got a clip. Hold on, real quick. The book of Proverbs, chapter 4 and verse 16. For they sleep not, which is talking to the wicked. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief. Okay, and when you get this word mischief, and we've done this before, and we know what the word means, but check it out. When you get the word mischief, right? And we're gonna get it from the Webster's, it tells you what? To cause or a cause or source of harm, evil, or irritation, bro. This is what the word mischief goes into, man. And it says they sleep not unless they cause mischief, man. All right, again, which goes into what? A cause or source of harm, evil, or irritation, bro. All right, and these data centers are causing harm and irritation to residential areas, bro. All right, and it's an evil thing he's doing, man. Because again, these data centers are destroying the ecosystem, bro. Okay, they're sucking up all the natural resources in the form of the fresh water. But this is the works of the Lord, though. Because as we know, the Lord's what? The Lord, what did the Lord say he was going to do? He said he was going to bring the plagues upon Egypt again. Okay? That he's drying these niggas up. This is the work of the Lord. Look, let's continue on. Proverbs 4 and 16. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief. And their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall, man. So Esau is sleeping like a baby, knowing that he's fucking you Edomites, you other Edomites up. All right? As he builds these massive data centers, man, to bring forth this fourth industrial revolution. He don't give a damn. All right? Look it. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence, man. All right, this nigga is chilling. You know? He's like, oh, that's happening because of beautiful. That brings more comfort to him. He's like, plan well executed. It's working. You know? This nigga don't care. You see, and at the same time, I remember what I was gonna say now. The Wadi Al Bashim Al Shah. And at the same time, with all this going on, with this nigga destroying the environment, all right, pushing eminent domain on you other fellow Edomites, all right. At the same time, he's also this transition into this fourth industrial revolution in the form of this AI, this AI data, these AI data centers. They're also stripping you people of your livelihood, man, your jobs. All right, people are getting laid off by massive amounts, man, because of this AI technology, man. You see? Let's go. Let me get this real quick. So Esau's just fucking y'all all up. The global elite are fucking you other Edomites all up, man. Because for the most part, Jake doesn't really work in tech like that. It's you heathen, but you do got Jakes in that area of work, of course. Let me let me see something real quick. Yeah, I want to get this from the brother real quick. Now this video is 15 minutes long. We're only gonna play the first beginning half, which is a couple of minutes. 2 minutes is a news clip, and then I'm gonna jump to the end to what this Judite woman's talking about. All right, because she brings out a couple of heavy points. But I recommend you, beloved Akim and Akwath, go watch this video from the beloved brother. His channel is the Hopefully Like 3. I'm sure you brothers are subscribed already, you brothers and sisters, but um, this is one of the videos I came across that inspired this video, that inspired this lesson, excuse me. So this is fair use, fair use. I'm not making any monetary gain off of this video. This is for educational purposes only, fair use, fair use. Right, and for the sake of expounding on prophecy. All right, check it out.
A lot more people in the Bay Area are losing their jobs. Another round of layoffs for Meta. That means Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp. And the layoffs are making both techies and recent college graduates very nervous. It's going to bring in our business and tech reporter, Scott Ledman. It's a stressful time for a lot of people, Scott. Yeah, you're right. close to home for a lot of employees, the Facebook and Instagram owner, announcing cuts at its Menlo Park headquarters as it continues to lay people off. Meta employees are playing a nervous waiting game at headquarters. The company and more than 2,000 jobs here. Happen. I think it's a sign that Meta is deadly serious about AI. That's their new mantra, the new watchword, their new corporate strategy. But instead of people, as AI investments replace salaries, 8,000 overall recently announced 4,000 Cisco, 3,000 at Intuit, more than 100,000 tech layoffs across the country so far this year, according to online tracker layoffs. We don't need as many people. We used to have teams of 5 or 7. That team can be 2 people.
Look at this man. That nigga's excited about about leaving niggas in the dust. Look at him. Watch, listen to him. Across the country so far this year, according to online tracker layoffs.
We don't need as many people. We used to have teams of 5 or 7.
Look at him. Evil Eve, man. Ugly man.
Worried on college campuses, where graduating seniors are worried that their entry level tech jobs are going away or being taken by us. These are students told for years about the rise in tech jobs, now often finding themselves running into a virtual brick wall. You can blame it on AI, you can blame it on companies wanting to cut more and not hire as much because of the bottom line. Whatever the issues may be, there's definitely not enough jobs.
Losing.
Now, one point about that, including MVCs, we're seeing a lot more classes on AI and how to prepare your job box. Not this morning.
Losing. You see? Losing, man. And this is why we put all our eggs in one basket. All right. And that basket, you know what that basket looks like? That basket is Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. We put all of our eggs in that one basket, bro. All right. That's the foundation we're building. We are not trusting in this guy, man. All them stupid ass niggas throwing up them stupid ass hats, man. Walking around with that stupid ass diploma. And now look at you now. Your stupid ass don't got a job. Let's listen to a couple of these stupid ass niggas real quick. Look, check it out.
I'm one of the people laid off from Meta. The emails came at 6 a.m. Slept until like a baby. And I woke up to several text messages. The one that I read first was from my former manager, and she was just so fantastic. I was very happy to hear the news from her versus the email. I am looking for another job in corporate. My experience is in sales enablement, learning and development, instructional design, program management. Recently, I've been supporting sales teams with AI enablement. So if you know of anything and would be looking for someone to, bring on to help with any of those things who has experience doing that at scale, let me know. Sending love to all of you who are going through the same things because it is stressful. So I'm one of 8,000 people that just got laid off from Meta.
Nobody cares. Let me get you this one right here. Hold on. Let me go up a little. Let me skip this guy.
Meeting.
Let's get this one right here. Oh, girl.
Laid off about 15, 30 minutes ago. And I knew it was coming in the morning. I saw a 15-minute meeting, which is odd. And I just started bawling my eyes out because I knew that I was going to be replaced by AI, but I can't let me losing my job keep me from the things that I love doing and keep me from the things that I'm working on. And I love being able to show up on here and share candidly or courageously the things that I'm thinking and feeling. And I will not allow something like a rug being pulled out from under my feet keep me from sharing authentically and vulnerably. And so I have to find a way to honor the grief and just the shock because it is so upsetting. And there's so many things in my life that feel really out of place and disappointing. Like, how disappointing is it that I can't participate in all the things that I want to? And I have to kind of reroute things for now to take care of what's most important. At this point, I've been on the lactation for an extraordinarily long amount of time. You put a lot of roles, and I have not. Throughout this process, like there's been so much rejection. I felt that every time I think, well, don't take it personal. It's not in the world. You don't that reason. This is a great process. I'm very excited about it. I think that I'm just before I went to the gym today. I got another going with another treatment. And people say like, oh, it's what's meant to be. Then what is meant to be? Is this what's meant to be? Is this what my life is meant to be then? It's disappointing. It becomes insulting to your intelligence. Like, why do you think that I can't do the responsibilities of this job? Like, you don't think that I can talk about this medical technology and electronic health records and billing and automated appointment scheduling? Like, you think that the candidate before or after me or somebody else can do it, but you're not going to move forward with it. You don't think that I'm capable.
See, what she doesn't understand is that them AI bots, yeah, they can do it better than you, man. All right, they're choosing AI bots over you people, bro. That's why y'all getting wasted and pushed to the side. Okay, AI technology is taking over, man. So you see that? So here it is. These data centers are destroying it again, destroying the environment. All right, destroying people's health. You know, they're just completely disrupting residential areas and just completely just turning everything just into it's a big mess. You know, but at the same time, also stripping you niggas from your jobs, man, getting you laid off. All right, because they can do your job better. They can do your job better than you. All right. And that's another thing. See, y'all forgot about, see, Esau blew the Georgia Guidestone up. All right. And y'all niggas forgot about it. That's how stupid you Babylonians are. But see, we didn't forget. Okay. We didn't forget. We took note of that. All right. Evil Eve blew up the Georgia Guidestone. What was on that Georgia Guidestone? A population no more than 500 million is how you sustain an everlasting position of power. So, you know what I mean? They're still on that depopulation agenda, man. They can give a damn about you people, bro. But now you finding that out now. But check this out.
Corporation, there's a chance you're going to get laid off. All these big companies are looking at AI to replace people.
He knew a little bit of something. But check this out.
Please listen to this video, pass it to everyone that you know, and make sure that you save it. Thank you. Now let's take a look at how these AI data centers that are owned by the wealthiest companies, wealthiest people in the world, how they are affecting us in our lives. Microsoft has 300 data centers in the United States. Amazon has 215. Google has 25. Meta has 20 in the United States and 4 in Asia. And Apple has 10 data centers in the United States. These same very wealthy companies go to our city councils and ask for us to pay for their water, to pay for their utilities, and everything that they need to make themselves multi billionaires. Whereas at the same time, the one thing that we're not looking at are layoffs. Look, these companies are called what they call hyperscalers. That means that they host the data. Now let's look at layoffs from these same companies. Meta has now reduced over 10% of its workforce. That's just currently. We don't know about going into the future. They have affected over 8,000 employees. Then you go to Amazon. Amazon has laid off over 30,000 employees, but Amazon needs you to help them pay for their data center that's going to create AI that's going to even increase your unemployment in your area. Cisco has laid off 4,000, UPS has laid off 30,000, and Intuit has planned to lay off over 17% of its workforce. Americans, understand this. They're asking U.S. taxpayers, they're going to your city council, your commissioner's court, and asking for taxpayers to pay for the water to cool their facilities. They're using all of our utilities at the same time. They are laying off American workers. Americans, wake up. It was not enough that they created institutions that allowed them to torture and mistreat our children. Now they're expecting for us to pay for our own layoff.
And it's only gonna get better. You people only seen a half of it. It's gonna get better. Because it's gonna get worse. You see? It's gonna get better for us of the hopeful elect. It's gonna get worse for you people though. Okay? It's gonna get worse for you, man. But there will be some pushback. As we can see, there is some pushback right now by, these residents that live in these specific areas. Again, we played that Dabu 7 video. They're trying to, they're trying their best to resist, that eminent domain push. Um, and again, there will be pushback, as the scriptures tell us. When you go to the book of Job, it's gonna be complications for these for the powers that be, the whole step of the way of them trying to bring forth this diabolical fourth industrial revolution. All right. But again, they are gonna get it off the ground. But once he's about to fill his belly, that's when the Lord's gonna snipe him. Right, real quick. Let's get this real quick. All right. This is the book of Job, chapter 20 and verse 22, and it reads this: In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. All right. So in the fullness of his sufficiency, meaning what? When this dude's in the position where pretty much where he's at now, he's building these data centers, the infrastructure's coming together, but at the same time, he's getting pushback. These are causing delays. Esau doesn't have time to play with you people. All right. He's talking eminent domain and stuff like that. He's trying to pay you people off, but he don't got time to waste though. Okay, and we can prove that to you. We could prove that to you, man. Revelations 12. See, Evil E knows he's running out of time. Evil E knows that July 4th of this year, all right, marks a death sentence for him, man. Unless he does something drastic. He knows this. He knows these things, bro. The Lord then showed him. The Lord then showed him something through his left hand counsel, through Esau's left hand counsel. But anyways, check it out. Salakia. Job 20 and 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits, a position of difficulty, right? Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him, man. And we always go into this, but for the sake of new listeners, I'll grab it real quick. All right, because you see this word wicked is not talking to our who we're talking about at the moment. We're talking about the wicked, which is evil E. But this wicked that's gonna come upon him is talking about, you're gonna find out here. Let me just get this for you real quick. Salakia. Wrong translation on that. Salakia for that. This fucking phone.
Strong's H 6001. A male. A male.
Right, we're just talking to the laborers, and the workers, the workmen, the sufferers. All right, those that are suffering, all right, under the hand of the powers that be. As the scriptures tell us, when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. All right, and that's exactly the scenario that's going on right now. And there's gonna be there's gonna be resistance, more resistance, But that's just gonna bring on more suffering because again, evil E in the form of the powers that be, they know they don't got time and they're not gonna be playing. He's gonna pull the sword out. All right, Marshall. As you can see, you got a bunch. The brother's been, bringing it out. The poly crisis talking point, which that's all set up by design. All these various scenarios and events that are taking place. People running up on the White House. People driving around the wrong side of the highways, crashing into state police. That's happening over here where I'm at. There's been 3 instances, all right, where recently, okay, with one deleting the statey, all right, where there's drivers driving the wrong way on one of these causeways, man, that are not too far from where I'm at. Okay, going head on, and then the cops are getting called about the wrong way driver. They're going to intercept them, and they end up having a head on collision with them, man. How crazy is that? But needless to say, there's a lot of things happening right now, man, with Esau. He's creating a lot of, you know, situations, bro. This is happening, that's happening. It's all a bunch of confusion. But at the same time, there's niggas in the Midwest and various parts of Babylon the Great, Georgia, you know what I mean? Erecting data centers, man. So we already know, bro. You know what I mean? But as he gets closer and closer to the fulfillment of his diabolical plan, it's just gonna get harder for him. As we read in Job for 20 and 22. It's just gonna get harder for him, bro. Every step of the way. You see? It's gonna get harder for him every step of the way, man. And we're gonna be here to report on it through the spirit, Lord willing. But yeah, pretty much Aki Amenakwath. I mean, hey, Lord willing, you were edified, Apparatus, you were spiritually fed through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of our power, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. And Lord willing, you were informed, and we're in that time, where the Lord, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, he's truly activated. Truly, he's activated right about now, man. All right. And we're seeing the Lord do some beautiful things, man. All right. He's he's completely just he's taking reprobates and pushing them to the side. He's he's continuously exposing Esau. At the same time, he's waking up more of the he's quickening more of the elect. Because the elect, we know the elect is sealed. They just gotta be quickened. You know, and we're seeing a lot of that happen. Brothers and sisters are, they hey, oh, another thing I want to make this point, backing up what I just said. What happened with TGC? Hey, you better believe this again. You obviously these elect and all these other congregations, man, that are wiggling around, you know? And as they fall apart slowly but surely, the little sprinkle, the little one or two spirits that are in there are gonna come into the knowledge of the truth. All that's set up by design, you know? But again, there's something that Elder Menatezakba said that I want to make a point on too, regarding that scandal that's going on with him. It could all just be a publicity stunt, so we got to be careful on that too. You know what I mean? Because that's a very good point. Because you know how wicked niggas get down, you know? They're into shit like that. We know these niggas took the bag, so they're on the run. These niggas are trying to get the hell out of Dodge, man, just disappear and fall off the map, you know? Because they know what they did. They know what they done did. you know. But yeah, man, we're gonna focus on prophecy through the spirit. You already know. The beloved Akiam. The true men of the Lord, starting with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down. And we're on our high tower, and we're sounding the alarm, man. All right, whether you hear or forbear. All right, until the Lord takes the breath out of us, we're gonna continue to push. The Lord, as long as the Lord allows the Spirit to stay in us, man. Psalms 51, and he keeps and we got breath in our air in our lungs, man, and we're bringing it out. Okay? Up until the very end, bro. Hey, I'm gonna leave it right there. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rachak, Kwadash. Hey, double honors to the beloved elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Hey, till next time, beloved Akiyam and Akwa. Hey, stay prayed up, fast as well as pray. Pray for shorter days. Yahweh Shai is on his way. Hey, Shalom.